Yes, I'd have to go through all the many regrets in my life and the many.
Hollywood just witnessed a moment no one saw coming. After Diane Keaton's sudden death, Woody Allen, now 89, broke decades of silence. And what he's revealing is shocking everyone. For over half a century, their bond defied every rule. Part love story, part tragedy, part artistic obsession. She was his muse, his conscience, his greatest what if. Now, for the first time, the man who built a career hiding behind irony is speaking from the heart. What he's admitting about Diane Keaton, their love, and the secrets behind Annie Hall is changing everything we thought we knew. Stay with us, because once you hear what Woody Allen finally confessed, you'll never see their story the same way again. It all began in 1969. Woody Allen was casting his Broadway play, Play It Again, Sam. He'd seen dozens of actresses, talented, polished, forgettable. Then, out of nowhere, Diane Keaton walked in. She was 23, straight from California, wearing mismatched clothes and speaking in a way that made no logical sense, but somehow felt utterly honest. Allen later said she was adorable, funny, totally original in style, real and fresh. What he didn't say was that she scared him. She was everything he wasn't. Light where he was dark, spontaneous where he was anxious, free where he was trapped inside his own thoughts. He cast her on the spot, not just because she was right for the role, but because he couldn't imagine not seeing her again. Those years, 1969 to 1971, were the happiest of Woody Allen's life. He later admitted it to friends. With Diane, he felt seen, not as a famous comedian or a filmmaker, but as the scared kid from Brooklyn who never felt enough. She had this way of looking at him, really looking, and making him feel like maybe he was okay. They would walk for hours through Central Park, talking about nothing and everything. She found wonder in the ordinary, something he'd never understood before. But living together revealed the cracks. Allen was controlling in ways that seemed protective but weren't. He wanted to know where she was, who she talked to, what she thought. He corrected her grammar, her clothes, her books. He tried to make her more sophisticated, more like the women in his scripts. But Diane Keaton resisted, not by arguing, but by staying true to herself. When he corrected her grammar, she said it wrong again, smiling. When he mocked her outfits, she wore even stranger ones the next day. It drove him crazy and made him love her even more. She was the one thing he couldn't control. The breaking point came in 1971. Francis Ford Coppola was casting The Godfather. Through a connection, Diane got an audition for the role of Kay Corleone. Woody dismissed it. It's a gangster film, not your style. But she went anyway and got the part. When she told him, he went silent. Finally, he said, "You're choosing Coppola over me." She tried to explain that it wasn't about choosing, it was about growing, but he couldn't hear it. She left anyway. On the set of The Godfather, she met Al Pacino. The chemistry between them was immediate. He was everything Woody Allen wasn't: emotional, intense, dangerous. And she was drawn to it. While Woody intellectualized everything, Pacino just felt. When Diane came back from filming, she wasn't the same woman. She had changed. More confident, more independent. And Woody, who had once shaped her, suddenly realized he'd lost her. Their relationship ended in 1972. She was tired of being someone's project. She wanted to be loved for who she was. But their story didn't end there. In 1977, Woody Allen made Annie Hall and cast Diane Keaton as the lead. It wasn't loosely based on their relationship. It was their relationship. Every awkward silence, every argument, every bittersweet moment came straight from their lives. Even the clothes she wore on set were her own. The film was personal, painfully so. Some called it genius. Others called it exploitation. Diane called it weird and painful. But she did it anyway. Annie Hall became a phenomenon. It won Best Picture, and Diane Keaton won Best Actress. But what the audience didn't know was that Woody Allen had rewritten their history. In the film, their love ended gently. After Annie Hall, their romance was over, but their bond wasn't. Over the next 40 years, They made 8 more films together. Manhattan in 1979, Manhattan Murder Mystery in 1993, and others spanning decades. 42 years of creating art together after breaking up. 42 years of working side by side, balancing affection and distance. Woody once confessed, "Every actress I work with is compared to Diane." That connection affected Diane's other relationships, especially with Al Pacino. Their on and off romance lasted 15 years, but Woody was always there, in spirit, if not in body. She'd talk about his genius, his brilliance, his vision, and Pacino could never escape that shadow. He wanted marriage. She couldn't give it. She loved him deeply, but some part of her would always belong to Woody Allen. Then came 2014. The Dylan Farrow allegations against Woody Allen resurfaced. Hollywood turned on him instantly. She lost roles, friends, and credibility. She was attacked publicly, called an enabler, accused of betrayal. But she never wavered. When asked years later if defending him had hurt her career, she simply said, "I'm proud, proud beyond measure." She refused to apologize or back down. For Diane, loyalty wasn't a weakness, it was principle. By 2024, her health was deteriorating. She kept it private, hiding it even from close friends. On October 11, 2025, emergency services were called to her Brentwood home. She was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead at 79. The cause was never revealed. When Woody Allen got the call, he was silent. "I didn't even know she was sick," he said quietly. For someone who'd known her 56 years, that realization shattered him. At her small, private funeral, he brought a single photograph from 1970 of them laughing together on the set of Play It Again, Sam. Those who were there say Woody Allen wept uncontrollably. For the first time, the man who'd intellectualized love and emotion broke down completely. Later, it was revealed he'd written her a long letter, an apology, a confession, but never sent it. He spoke of Annie Hall again. "I gave her the Oscar," he said, "but she gave me everything else, the film, the career, the soul of my work. Without her, I was just another neurotic making comedies. With her, I was creating something real." His biggest regret: "I should have just let her be. I should have loved her for who she was instead of trying to improve her." About her loyalty during the accusations, he said, "She believed me when nobody else would. She stood by me when it cost her everything. I never asked her to, but she did it anyway. That was who she was. Loyal, stubborn, true." Their last conversation happened months before she died. She called him, a rare thing, and said, "I don't regret any of it. The relationship, the films, defending you, none of it. I was who I was, and you were who you were. It was what it was." At 89, Woody Allen looks back and admits, "She was right. About everything. About life, about love, about not overthinking. Annie Hall wasn't the truth. It was my fantasy. She was a better person than any character I ever wrote." 56 years, 9 films, one love that never really ended. Their connection was too messy to be romance, too intimate to be friendship, too haunting to fade. It existed outside every label and survived every storm. Diane Keaton's legacy isn't just her Oscar or her iconic style. It's that she gave Woody Allen something he could never write himself: the miracle of being loved exactly as you are. In the end, Woody and Diane's story isn't just about love, it's about legacy, loyalty, and the beauty of what's left unsaid. Some bonds never fade, and theirs will echo through time. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Thanks for watching.